I actually had a question, but I feel a little bit like I'm like in a 400 level course and I've only taken the 100 level. So I'm not sure if the question I'm asking is so elementary for others. I'm not sure, Kandala, I really understand the difference between like when you talk about the generation stage and the completion stage. I'm not sure I know specifically what you mean. Is generation when we're generating ourselves as Vajrayogini, and completion when we have come to know we are Vajrayogini and the world is
You become
Vajrayogini?
Vajrayogini. Yeah, something like this. The actor, I don't know this is a good metaphor or not. You first kind of acting like you want to be a princess, for example. You acting as a princess. Then practice, I'm a princess, I'm a princess. And then that's a generation stage. No, actually, not exactly, but let's say like that. Then the completion stage, you are, there's no difference from you are already princess. No, your perception is the princess, about yourself is the princess. The world you view is the world of princess. So everything holy. One of the big reason or the convincing or the proof is subtle body. So prana flows into the central channel, which is non-conceptual. So non-dualities, we are going to the non-duality. So we are working with the relative deity and the absolute ultimate deity. So in generation stage, we are working with a relative level, relative deities. So still have this duality. But then we are trying to make it cross duality. We started to get closer and closer and closer. They eventually identify. But that's what we are practicing here in generations. Completion stage no longer, of course, the completion stage in a practice level, we are trying to work with, trying to bring the prana into the central channel with those physical exercises, true calls, and all these other exercise, breathing techniques, and holding a breath, and so forth. Then what happened is that we become that, no doubt about. Of course, maybe confusion would be the practice level and also actual completion stage and the generation, accomplishment of generation stage and accomplishment of completion stage. That's different. Eventually we get there, but we are talking about our practice level. That's what's happening. Still working with this dualities, feels like. But then through practice, started to feel, have a sense, smell of me or we are Vajrayogini or something. You know, nothing changed externally in a sense. Those great master looks all these old Tibetan, you know, dude or something. But then inside, their mind is Vajrayogini. Their view, they are seeing Vajrayogini everywhere. They view each student Vajrayogini and the expression of Vajrayogini. So it's all about mind, right? So this is the process of training we are talking about, generation stage, then eventually completion stage. Of course, the purpose of completion stage is to bring the prana inside central channel, not only bring it, observe it, and completely one with it. It's become inseparable. So that's the purpose. In other words, that's the unfoldment of subtlest mind called the clear light mind or innate mind of clear light. Many terms for it. So when you meditate at the center of your heart center, at the center of the principal deities, principal Vajrayogini, this indestructible drop, which is when you meditate, it's like a pea, you know, capsulated right now from the lifetime after lifetime. And then metaphorically speaking, the opening, there's no such a thing as opening or closing, but the dawning of the subtlest mind, Buddha mind. So that's the kind of aim of completion stage. Then, of course, that leads to the Buddha mind. That is not just only mind. It comes with subtlest wind. So that wind part, this material part, you can say material, not physical, but it's some kind of wind movement. So that leads to the illusionary body, Buddha body, manifestation body, Nirmanakaya. So Dharmakaya and Nirmanakaya, those two are the aims of tantric enlightenment, tantric practice. Tantric enlightenment entails those two: Buddha mind, emptiness, or the innate mind of clear light. Clear light is a tantric term for emptiness, you can say. It's kind of very simplistic way of saying, but more or less emptiness and clear light mind. And then this wind part, subtle room, prana part, that move on to the next life. That part becomes the physical body, Buddha body, Nirmanakaya. Because without the Nirmanakaya, physical body, we cannot assist, we cannot do anything, we cannot communicate with others. No, that's emptiness part, wisdom part, and method part, compassion, great compassion, bliss part. In Tantra, we use the term bliss as a method, use bliss as a method. Those two, I don't know, that's confused you more or not. You know, initially when I heard about the completion stage, all those different techniques look so cool and wow, that's awesome, far out. But I don't think I can ever get there or ever be able to do those things. But then if we do the step by step, I often talk about this. Buddhism is a science. If we do the step by step, according to what our great master taught us, then it's automatically get there. Even if you don't want it, you get there. The trust start building. Even you are practicing a generation stage, but then little bit of this completion stage element, right? In Tantra, highest yoga Tantra, we practice together, completion stage and generation stage, mixed. Because mind are mixed, those method part and the wisdom part. That's escalate, accumulating merit and wisdom we do together. While you are completely resting in Dharmakaya, you practice all these activities, right? So that's one of the examples. That's how we accumulate both collections, so-called. Sonam and Yesheki. So those two things. So that's allowed us to complete this journey in just one short lifetime. In Sutra, we cannot. This kind of method is very precious and perfect for modern practitioners who do not have much time watching the yak or the sheep for 3 days resting. You know, we don't have that luxurious opportunities. And also, this is the opportunity. We have more opportunity. This is so-called degenerated time. This is the time, is this kind of Vajrayogini, Helka, this kind of practice. Especially Vajrayogini, very short, concise. And then it was invested by all the great masters who attained the final culmination through this single practice. So the efficacy was proven again and again. It's not about the ancient histories or the ancient things. Now, this moment, this has been accomplished by great masters, wherever they are. Then why not us, right? We have more. We don't need to worry about the food. We don't need to worry about unnecessary things. Just might be the intention, our willingness to devote. At the same time, we don't need to be so uptight about this. Oh yeah, I don't have time, I don't have time. No, we have time. Every moment, every action, everything, whatever we do, transform into this practice. That's possible. Vajrayogini practice allows us to do that. Whenever we drink, we eat, we see beautiful things, even we see the ugly things. We started to have this sense of everything is expression of Vajrayogini. Nature is great bliss, inseparable from emptiness. If you doubt about it, then examine it. Like Ramachan Kappa suggests that if we started to have caught by this trivial or caught by this drama of life or something like that, then just analyze it. See if there's such a thing called externally existing, separated from me, out there, entity out there or not.